It's been 5 months since James Harden was traded from the Houston Rockets to the Brooklyn Nets. Actually, almost 6 months now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Today, I want to talk about why the Houston Rockets did not lose the James Harden trade. Now, you can actually go back and look at live reactions to both the Victor Oladipo trade and the James Harden trade if it piques your interest. But at the time of honestly, both trades, they seemed like massive L's. Anytime you trade away a franchise player, the return is never going to be what you're, honestly, ideally hoping for. So the trade, if you don't remember it, the Brooklyn Nets received James Harden from the Houston Rockets. The Cleveland Cavaliers received Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. The Rockets received Victor Oladipo, Karooks, Exum, a 2022, a 2024, and a 2026 first-round pick from Brooklyn, a 2022 first-round pick from Milwaukee, and 4 pick swaps via Brooklyn. And the Indiana Pacers received Caris LeVert. Now, just right out of the gate, I don't know why Stone did not pick Caris LeVert over Victor Oladipo, but it's already happened. He might have had something bigger up his sleeve. Caris LeVert's probably going to receive a big payday. Victor Oladipo's dealing with injuries. I don't really know why he picked Victor Oladipo over Caris LeVert. I don't know if maybe we would have gotten less picks if that were the case. I'm not really sure. But Houston, we got a just bunch of picks from that James Harden trade. 4 guaranteed first-round picks and 4 pick swaps. That's a good job. That is a good job by any GM. Now, obviously, Karooks and Exum, they did. I don't even think they've received more than. I don't think Exum played a single game for the Rockets. Karooks never got over 15 minutes, didn't really do much. Victor Oladipo, he's just been playing poorly since he got injured in January of 2019 when he tore his hamstring. And then in the trade to Miami, the Rockets received 2 players as salary matching and another pick swap, Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley. But getting a pick swap for Victor Oladipo, it's a very underrated, very good, solid move. So these are just basically my opinions, guys, on this trade. Now, you have to go all the way back to 2018 after the Houston Rockets blew a 3-1 lead to the Golden State Warriors. It appeared as if Chris Paul pretty much had no gas left in the tank. So they go out, they trade for Russell Westbrook. They give up from first-round picks to get Chris Paul off the team to acquire Russell Westbrook. And honestly, in the 3 months prior to COVID hitting, Russell Westbrook was absolutely going off. And I still think Russell Westbrook had a good season with the Houston Rockets. I think he went 27, 7, and 7. I'll take a look, but he put up some very, very good statistics on this Rockets team. But then once the playoffs came, they were just, it was pretty much ISO ball, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. They needed more help. So the way I see this whole James Harden trade moving into this year, and yes, I do believe if James Harden was still on this team, I think the Rockets, they would still be playing basketball right now, man. They really would, especially if they went out and they made that KPJ trade. It's even more help, but you'd have to think they have PJ Tucker, they got Christian Wood, they got a healthy John Wall, you got James Harden on this team. I think they're still playing basketball right now just because of the craziness that has gone down. Every team has pretty much been injured, and if the Rockets could have stayed healthy, who knows? But, it's a bunch of what-ifs. The Houston Rockets set up their entire future with this trade. Having 4 pick swaps for Brooklyn, honestly, guys, I think the Brooklyn team is going to fall apart here in the next couple of years. These picks later on, these pick swaps, these first-round picks, they're going to be valuable. And even if they're not valuable, even if the Brooklyn Nets Big 3 stays together and they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the next 4 years, I still view it as a win of a trade because, man, James Harden, he didn't want to play here anymore. He was straight up disrespectful to the organization. He was straight up disrespectful to the fans. It felt like I was watching little kids trying to figure out what's going on. And when he got traded, it was almost a sigh of relief because of all the drama, all the stress, all that stuff was over. Signifies a new era here in Houston. But man, that's just something that the Houston Rockets the last 8 years with James Harden on the team, and it makes sense because you have a player who's come in third place MVP voting 4 or 5 times. I mean, Houston Rockets, their front office believes James Harden should have 4 MVPs. I definitely believe he should have at least 2. The last 8 years, the draft has meant nothing. Free agency almost has meant nothing most years because of how much salary cap they have. So this is something that had to have happened. James Harden's on the wrong side of 30. He didn't want to play in Houston. And they went out and they got an insane amount of draft assets. But here's the big kicker for me on why I really like this trade. If you go all the way back to when the Houston Rockets initially traded for James Harden, they gave up 2 first-round picks, Kevin Martin and Jeremy Lamb. That's how they got James Harden. So having these 4 first-round picks, well, it's about to be 3 after this Milwaukee draft, but having these 3 picks, having 4 draft swaps, it's only going to help you trade for a superstar player. Right? So the Houston Rockets, the next superstar player that they see that they want to target, whether it's Shea, whether it's Bradley Beal, whether it's Karl Anthony Towns, I'm not sure who it's going to be. But they have the draft capital, they have the young assets now to make these types of trades. So yeah, this last year sucked. 17 wins, dysfunctional season, tons of injuries. But then again, it was also a COVID year. It was a shortened season. What are you going to do? So, looking back at it, man, it's just really tough because the start of the season, this time last year, obviously, James Harden's still on the squad. Russell Westbrook's still on the squad. They're still contending for the finals, even though their chances may not have been like the Clippers or the Lakers. They were still contending this time of the year. And it's tough. It's tough. However, they got the second pick. They got the second pick. The tank worked, and they got the second pick. And now they own their draft right till next year. They own it for the year after that. The pick swap is over, and they got away with it. That is the most important part. They got away. They traded their franchise superstar player. The NBA draft system it's stupid, right? It's just stupid. So they trade away their star player. They get 4 first-round picks. They get 4 pick swaps. And they get the second pick in the NBA draft in a loaded draft class. To me, that's a massive W, although it may not seem like it right now, or it may not have seemed that way last month. It's just a massive W. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, drop any video ideas you want to see in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.